Well, good morning, folks. Sheepdog Smokey here. I hope you're having a great weekend so far. I saw something today that honestly did kind of surprise me, but I'm happy we're going to see it because it's going to expose a liberal pet project as unconstitutional. That is the red flag law, or the temporary emergency restraining and protection order. Very simply put, this strips the person accused of being dangerous of their Second, Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment rights. You're disarmed, you're searched, you cannot refuse to incriminate yourself, and you are not given a trial prior to punishment being meted out to you. But before we get into this, please make sure you go on and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you're kept up to date on all new content as it posts. I do normally only post one per day, but as you saw yesterday, well, Friday the 6th, for those watching later, I had 3. It happens, and with the notifications and the subscription, you'll know as soon as something posts. But let's go on and get into what a red flag law is, what it's already done, and really why I think we're going to see this end the major push towards these laws. We've seen already a death in Connecticut where, and I've talked about this before, 2 people had an argument. Now, I don't know many people over the age of about 5 who don't have at least one argument a day. Taking children out of the equation, as their arguments are just all of the time over TV and clothing and bedtime and everything else, adults argue all the time. You may argue over being assigned something at work, or argue with a server who didn't bring you the right order, argue with someone over a parking space. It's not uncommon, and it is not any reason to do what happened in Connecticut. You see, the 2 people who had an argument, the one who lost, reported the other person as dangerous. That started the ball rolling, and ultimately a judge who had not heard from the accused in any way ordered them disarmed. Police barged into the man's home, and when he would not comply, they shot him and killed him. We found out later that that man had not in any way threatened the other person. It was literally, "How dare you prove me wrong and not bow to me? I will have you punished." Which is very, very wrong. But very recently, we saw Democratic Senator Charles Schumer of New York openly threaten Supreme Court Justices Kavanaugh and Gorsuch.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you.
That's the video right there. Now, of course, very, very quickly after this video was going viral, and people rightly saying that, no, this is not good, this is not right, not allowable under any circumstances, especially for the highest-ranking Democrat in the Senate, he starts to backpedal. It was not a threat. I didn't mean that. I meant political consequences. I'm from Brooklyn. It's just how we talk. Everything and anything, but I messed up. So, naturally, he's trying to play it off, and he's now gone quiet about it. I'm sure we'll hear something from one of his spokespeople about he has given his statement and explained that he was not threatening anyone. You need to let this go. But right now, there are people actually trying to invoke red flag laws on Senator Charles Schumer. I have no doubt that all 535 members of the United States Congress own a firearm. For crying out loud, Kamala Harris, one of the champions of gun control, admits that she's a gun owner. Dianne Feinstein admitted that she illegally carried a gun in her purse many, many years ago when she was working in California because she had to walk through a bad area. All of them have security 24/7 and live under the blanket of security that they want to take from the law-abiding gun owners of America because criminals do not obey laws. In the 1990s, Joe Biden famously gave us gun control in the form of a gun-free zone at every school. This was one of the most idiotic things anyone could have done. But, according to Crazy Uncle Joe, it was needed. Notice his office is not gun-free. And every time someone broke that and illegally carried a gun into a gun-free zone, he demands that not that person go to jail for the rest of their life, but that gun owners who would never do that be punished. Senator Schumer has been right with him virtually the entire time. So, the gun owners of America are asking Governor Cuomo to be equitable in his application of the red flag law. Now, honestly, I don't expect anything to happen. Good old Andrew Cuomo will agree with Schumer and his non-apology and agree with all the other liberals saying that it's been taken out of context, and he will demand that this be dropped, or he will simply ignore it. This, honestly, when it is ignored, and when judges refuse to make a ruling on it, will be the ultimate proof that Democrats exempt themselves from the laws they inflict upon the rest of the country. We know, even though there is no proof, we know they use all of the loopholes that they ignore when demanding higher and higher taxes. They ignore that Al Sharpton owes millions and millions of dollars in taxes that he has never paid because he's a good liberal. While they're screaming that they want to see all, I don't know how many thousands of pages of every tax return Donald Trump has ever filed, because they're going to comb through them and say, you deducted a tire for your personal car, not your work car. That's a crime. Impeach. I don't really know what else I can say about it, because if this was a conservative speaking about any liberal member of any administration at any level saying half what Senator Schumer said about Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, there would be cause to have them in the darkest solitary confinement cell at Guantanamo Bay. It is the height of pomposity and hypocrisy, and the Democrats don't care that we see it anymore. California has legalized voter fraud. We have Stacey Abrams pulling a Hillary and still saying, well, I'm really the governor of Georgia. They just won't let me have my office. And now we have Senator Schumer openly threatening Supreme Court justices to the point that Chief Justice John Roberts got involved and issued a statement. That man has never done this. And Schumer gives his non-apology, and now he's either going to ignore the entire thing and just pretend it went away, or he's going to be crying on the news about how people are lying about him. And until we have someone punished under a law the Democrats have forced on us, held to account under their own laws, we're never going to see any of them change. I honestly don't think we'll see them change ever. We'll just see them fade away. If Ocasio-Cortez's seat manages to be removed and taken away from her this year by the Democrats, who are trying to eliminate her House seat, she will still have served a term in Congress, still draw her six-figure salary for life, still never have to pay back loans that she took out. She'll be writing books that are barely coherent, rambling about everything and anything she wants to ramble about on her social media and on news shows all over the country, and living the high life, because she's an idiotic little Democrat bartender who they thought they could use, who decided, no, I'm actually going to do all this, and made enemies of both parties. I don't know what else I can say. I really don't. It's so simple, I'm amazed so few people in the country see it. But let me know what you think. As always, remember, be civil. We are not here to scream and yell and hurl insults at each other. You can disagree all day long, but be civil. As always, please remember to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you can be part of the channel and help expand the channel. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.